Hello, welcome to episode 33 of the 30 Grandchildren Badge Attempt. Daryl and Delores are on vacation in Isla Paradiso and they're renting a luxury houseboat for the duration of their stay in that world. The reason for their vacation is for them to get to know each other and make a decision as to whether they want to stay together for the rest of their lives, get married and have babies to help Dolores' mother, Jerry, achieve her 30 grandchildren desire. In the previous episode, our couple travelled to Isla Paradiso, went sunbathing, played a lot of bowls at the bowling alley and then went for a scuba dive where they met the mermaid, Maya Ocean. Of course, mermaids have a little bug in this game for some people, and I've got that bug. And Maya Ocean, when she showed up, she didn't have any scales, so we gave her scales and then the couple returned to their houseboat because it was time for sleep. I've noticed that Dolores has developed a fascination with the foosball table. Daryl has gone off to bed and it's time for Dolores to do the same. This houseboat has 2 luxury bedrooms with ensuite upstairs, and here we see the couple each in their own bedroom snoring happily, getting ready for tomorrow's adventures. Next morning, after they'd had their breakfast, they decided to go to visit a roller coaster that they'd heard about that was floating above the water. It was something quite unusual, and they thought it might be fun to just go see what they can see there and enjoy the day together, getting to know each other. The first thing they checked out was the bakery. They didn't like much what they saw. Perhaps their problem was they just weren't hungry. They'd just eaten their breakfast. Daryl wandered off to explore further. The previous day when they were at the bowling alley, somebody had suggested to him that there was something interesting to be found just above the main gate. So he thought he'd go there and investigate what was up there first. Had to climb a ladder to get upstairs though, there were no steps. On his way up he noticed there were all-in-one bathrooms at the first level he passed before he got to the bridge that was joining the 2 towers above the front gate. Dolores realised where he'd gone and she quickly followed, but then she was distracted by that plasma punch gyroscopic conductor. Decided she'd have a go on it first. Daryl could wait up there investigating whatever it was that was so interesting. Let's just watch her have a little bit of fun on the gyroscopic conductor. This came with showtime. This is a complex contraption with numerous possible outcomes and various levels that Sims can achieve when playing in it. It includes text-based adventures. If you open up a portal and go on an adventure, Sims can catch fire and they can fall off it and they get sick, and you can upgrade it if your handiness skill is high enough. It can be well worth having it in the game. I don't use it often, but in some of my saves before I started making videos, I had Sims going off doing all sorts of fascinating things. Even had one catch fire in it once. That was interesting. It didn't take long before Dolores decided she'd had enough of it, and she got off and started playing her guitar. She'd momentarily forgotten all about Daryl upstairs, waiting for her to come up to check out what was in the bridge. Eventually, Daryl got a bit frustrated and came down to see what on earth was holding her up. He was quite excited about what he'd found up the top there. It looks like we're going to have to wait a bit longer before we see what it is. Got to get Dolores off this thing first. I thought she was playing for tips, but apparently not. She's just playing the guitar. Maybe she should go and do something else for a while, see what Daryl's doing. Finally, there was something they could do together, sort of. They're doing some roller skating. This lot has a seasonal marker on it, and some of the attractions change with the seasons. And I'm pretty sure that this roller skating rink will become an ice skating rink in the winter time. They enjoyed their roller skating so much, it seemed as though they were never going to stop. But eventually, the curiosity about what's up in that bridge across the front gate overcame them, and they headed up to investigate the love machine and the keg. At this point in their relationship, the keg was of much more interest to them, so that's what they did first. And Dolores decided to do a keg stand with Daryl's help. The keg, of course, came with university life. Apparently, the glug 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 keg is a perfect combination between good fun and bad decisions. Dolores was so happy that she drank all that cool liquid, and then Daryl demonstrated his strength by carefully putting her back safely on the floor. Then together they went to inspect the love inspector, but they decided not to ask it to analyse their love. So it was time for Dolores to feel all safe and secure in Daryl's arms again, and he lifted her up and he held her, demonstrating his great strength and ability to keep her safe as she drank more of that cool, refreshing liquid. And then he dropped her. What was that all about? Oh, she's not happy. He's feeling a little defensive. Off he goes. Maybe it's a good time to change the subject. Let's do something a little different. How about a carousel ride? And include lots of other people who are enjoying visiting the roller coaster on this fine sunny day. It was a really long wait before everybody got onto the carousel. Dolores was beginning to wonder if they were just going to sit there all day. But eventually it slowly moved off, and the fun began. There's Daryl with his shirt off. He must be wanting to go for a swim or something. We can just see the edges of the swimming pool in the left-hand corner of the screen. It's got windows for walls all the way around, so you can watch what's going on in the pool if you're on the lower level. Everybody was thoroughly enjoying their ride, but all good things must come to an end, and this ride was no exception. So the carousel gradually came to a stop and they all had to climb off. It gives us the opportunity to enjoy the next part of Daryl and Dolores' adventure together on their vacation in Isla Paradiso.
Our tub.
Daryl still was looking for a swim, and Dolores decided yes, she could do with a swim too. And then they noticed that there was a dive spot, Rocky Reef. It was quite close to where they were, so they jumped into the boat and headed off for a little bit of scuba diving. And who knows, they might even meet that mermaid again, Maya Ocean. It'd be good to see her with her tail. We gave her scales last time, but she only had scales on her legs. We didn't see the tail. And here they are, diving at Rocky Reef. This dive spot requires a diving skill of 2, so it's the safest one for them to go diving in. Oh, there's Mia Azul. It's another one of the mermaids, and she's not got scales either. Wow, fancy meeting a different mermaid. This doesn't usually happen. You usually just get the same mermaid. There's a group of 4 mermaids. Salty Seaworth, Triton King, Maya Ocean, and Mia Azul. And here we are, we're giving Mia her scales. Still, default female scales for adult female mermaids is purple, but I do happen to know the correct colours, so we'll fix the colours for her scales as well. And if you've got this problem, I've got a tutorial that sets it out step by step, and even gives you the correct colours for all 4 mermaid tails. Triton King and Mia Azul are the adult mermaids, and Salty Seaworth and Maya Ocean are the young adult mermaids. And of course they came with the Island Paradise expansion pack, and they live somewhere secret in Isla Paradiso, and they just turn up occasionally, and your Sims might meet them while they're diving on a dive lot. Usually your Sims will only meet one mermaid. Soon after arriving in Isla Paradiso, they do often meet 2 or 3 or even 4 of the mermaids eventually, if you've got them in this world for an extended period. Anyway, there she is. She's got all the scale colours fixed now, and we can go back to Daryl and Delores in their dive at Rocky Reef with Mia Azul, but she won't have her tail. She'll just have scaly legs at the moment. She's got to get out of the water and back in again before her tail will appear. I like my Sims to get to know the mermaids and try to make friends with them, because when they get their scuba diving skill up quite a lot higher, there is a mermaid grotto dive lot, and when your Sims are diving in that dive lot, the mermaid that comes there to see them might take them and show them a hidden island. And that is the way to find one of the hidden islands that are covered in cloud. You need to be friendly with a mermaid. And you can become a mermaid yourself. You can ask a mermaid for mermaidic kelp. But Salty is an evil mermaid, and he might give you the wrong sort of kelp. His kelp might make you just get sick. But if you get good mermaidic kelp from one of the other 3 mermaids, well then you will become a mermaid. I've never tried it. I've never asked a mermaid for mermaidic kelp. Maybe I should do that in one of my videos. That'd be fun. Looks like Daryl's had enough. He's heading off home. Fortunately for us, Delores is still enjoying her dive, so Delores can get to know Mia Azul a little as well. They were soon chatting happily, getting to know each other and talking about fish and shells and scuba diving and all sorts of interesting things. But it was getting dark outside, and Delores finally took off for home in the boat and left Mia Azul all by herself in the dive lot. When Delores finally got back to the houseboat that night, she found Daryl was there waiting for her. He'd been thinking. He just thought it was ridiculous. They're in a houseboat, and yet they're boating from the houseboat to all of the places that they want to visit. And since at the moment they really want to do a bit of scuba diving, try to build their scuba diving skills, they might as well have the houseboat much closer to a dive lot. And since the only dive lot they can actually dive on at this point, that's where they headed to, all of the way from their port to Rocky Reef. And no, houseboats don't really travel this fast. I just sped up the video so I didn't have to cut most of the journey out. So I liked looking at the scenery. And there is Rocky Reef. They're just parking right there, and then it's sleepy buys time until the morning when they will get up, have breakfast and go diving, and wonder if they're going to meet up with another mermaid. Sun was up, they had quick breakfast, ignored the surface sharks, and were soon down there in the depths of Rocky Reef. Their diving skills were being increased. They had a quick look around, but they mostly just wanted to chat with each other. I think they're noticing more of each other now. Maybe the romance is about to start. Who can tell with Sims? There's certainly lots of tall kelp down here. Daryl had a wish to go into a dive cave. He wanted to explore. So there's a dive cave. I just found it. So we'll send Daryl in there and he can see what he can see. We're always looking for more lifetime happiness points, especially when Sims are relatively new or who are not going to get played for very long. So Daryl's gone into that dive cave. We will leave him enjoy this experience. We'll probably get some messages at some point. There is Delores all on her own now in the background, just bobbing around, enjoying a dive, building her scuba diving skill. Apart from exploring a dive cave, Daryl wants to find lots of shells and Delores has a wish to catch a lot of fish underwater. I think Delores is getting a bit lonely and she wants to go back to the surface, and there she goes. So now Daryl's down there all by himself. He doesn't know that yet, but he's in the dive cave. He's having fun. Suddenly, Daryl gets a notification. You have found a new exit to the cave system. Do you want to see where it leads? And Daryl said, yes, please, and off he went. There was a great current, and it swooshed him to a whole new cave. He discovered himself in Davy Jones's locker, and there were plenty of shells for him to find. So he went around for a while, collecting shells. But shortly, his air was getting low and he had to go to the surface, and he headed back home to the houseboat, which was still parked back at Rocky Reef. When he got back to the houseboat, there was Delores waiting for him, and she was just so attractive he suddenly and unexpectedly found himself giving her a spur-of-the-moment kiss. He was so shocked, and she was so surprised, but she kissed him back. Wow, he does have a chance after all. He was getting a bit worried. I think it's about time they started doing some romancing. They need to be getting engaged at least before they go home, we hope. A certain amount of kissing and romancing continued for a while until it was decided that it was time to get some sleep. And in the morning, they decided that they'd move the houseboat to Davy Jones's locker, a more dangerous dive lot. But they've both improved their diving skill to level 4 now, so they can dive there. So it might be some fun for them if they go diving in a different location, for a little while at least. They will have to go home soon though. Even though they were parked right on top of the dive lot, they still had to get into the boat to get to dive. That was a little bit frustrating, but they got diving anyway. So here they are in the depths of Davy Jones's locker. I can see a treasure chest. I'll have to have a go at opening that. Oh dear, he needs a higher diving skill than he's got to get it open. Looks like we won't find out what's in that treasure chest. They dived and enjoyed themselves for a few sim hours. They collected shells and fish skeletons and living underwater sea life, and spent time chatting with each other as they enjoyed being down in the deep. But eventually they had to continue on with their vacation elsewhere. You can't stay scuba diving all of the time. They came across another dive cave, but decided not to explore it this time. They might come back here later. They know it's there now anyway. I wonder if there's any more treasure chests around. You never know when you're going to come up against one of them. There's a fish, a catchable fish. Oh, got a wish granted by catching it. They had decided it was time to go do something a bit different, and they got their boat and they headed out to get their limousine to the local festival ground. They might meet a few new locals or do some skating or something. Maybe even just some picking flowers would be fun for a change. Oh, there's a blue ghost. Must be one of the dregs. Now that's the local museum art gallery. I'd never really noticed it before. I thought it was a pretty good looking building. Daryl decided it was time to go pick flowers, and that's exactly what he did. There's plenty of flowers growing there, and the good part about those flowers is they come back again really quickly. So once you've picked them all, you can pick them all again in a very short time. And once he'd picked all the flowers, he decided he'd go roller skating. It's always good to learn new skills and be able to sell those flowers and get some simoleons for them too. That's a good way of earning some quick simoleons if you've got a brand new sim and they don't have very much cash on hand. So he got all the flowers and now there he is. He's on the skating rink doing a bit of roller skating. This, of course, is the festival grounds. I wonder what Delores is doing. Oh, there she is. She's found a soccer net and she's practicing kicking a ball and getting goals. Wonder if she'd be that good at getting goals if there was a goalie between her and the net. Those houses just across the street, that's where Christopher Collins lives. We saw him at the bowling alley with them in the last episode. And now it's going to be Dolores' turn to pick all the flowers. Of course, it's been actually quite a while since Daryl picked them. He's doing quite well with his skating. I don't know who that child is who's decided to join him on the skating rink. There she goes. She doesn't look very experienced and Daryl nearly knocked her over. There's the final flower to pick and now she can go skating with the other two and she'll have some flowers to sell as well now. Just had to wait to join the crowd. There's three of them. Poor little girl just about gets knocked over every time one of those big Sims goes past her. Well, she can fall over without any assistance from the other two by the look of it. Although she's stayed on her feet so far. But Daryl and Delores, they've been skating before and they're getting a bit better at it now. Hello, somebody else is coming. Going to be 4 Sims skating. It's a paparazzi by the look of it. It's getting late in the day, and it's about time Daryl and Delores thought about what they're going to do this evening. I'm sure they're not going to go roller skating all night. Although Daryl's going to do something tricky in the middle there with that paparazzi. Hope they don't fall over. Oh, down they went. You're going to try again? Just a little bit, and then they thought better of it and get back to the practice of going around and around. Now Delores is going to do something tricky by the look of it. Oh, she's going to do something with the little girl, and the paparazzi's gone. He'd had enough. I've just about had enough too. We better check out what these two are doing first. Hope they don't fall over. Delores went... Oh, they both went down. Oh, the lights have come on. Must be getting late. That's it. They've had enough of their little tricky thing in the middle. I think it's about time we moved on, fellas. Hello, we got another one joining. They can stay and skate all by themselves. Now she's had enough. She's a smart little girl. It's time to go. Delores has had enough too. And so has Daryl. Hello, there's a flower somebody can pick. We better not go and leave that flower there. She's got it. Got the other one, didn't see that other one. And there's their limousine waiting to take them on to their next destination. I wonder where that will be. It's very difficult to get a moving picture of them in their limousine. Here we are, they've arrived at the destination. Blue Water Fun Park. This is where the romance usually begins for the Sims who visit this fun park. But we're getting very close to the end of the video. There may not be time for too much romance, but there is definitely time for a roller coaster ride. Let's just watch this one from afar. There's somebody's houseboat out there in the ocean. I don't think it's their houseboat, but it could be. But I don't think it is. Okay, and come around this loop-the-loop. Around they go. Now they got two loop-the-loops coming up. One, another one around the corner. Oh, loop-the-loop. Down into the splash. Whoa, down they go. Around. And is the seal going to catch them this time? No, they jumped over it. That's good. Safe again. And now we're up the climb, and then down the other side. And another final loop-the-loop. And they've done it. Back to the parking, their carriage, and they can get off. Will they be sick? Sometimes the Sims do get very sick when they get off the roller coaster, especially with 4 loops the loop. Now they look like they're quite safe. They haven't done any throwing up. So now what? I think that's the end of the video. Thank you for watching. I do hope you've enjoyed it. It looks like they're going to be still on their vacation for the beginning of the next video. If you don't want to miss it, let's hope you have already subscribed and clicked the bell icon so that you can be notified of the next video. So bye bye for now. Thank you for watching and happy simming.